Hello, everyone. Today, we are going to do something different.
Not just another lesson, not another list of words, and definitely not another passive way of learning English that leaves you understanding everything but unable to say a single sentence when it actually matters.
Today, I am going to show you a way of learning that can completely change how you speak. Not slowly, not in years, but in a way that you can actually feel the difference in a short time if you truly follow it.
This is not about memorizing random vocabulary. It is not about complicated grammar rules. And it is definitely not about being perfect. This is about training your brain to think, react, and speak in English naturally.
Everything you are about to hear is built on one powerful idea. Learning English through phrases, not isolated words. Learning how to connect those phrases, expand them, and turn them into real flowing speech. If you have ever felt like you understand English but cannot speak it, this is exactly for you.
Before we begin, take a moment to support the channel. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and if this content helps you, leave a like and share your thoughts in the comments. It truly helps this work continue and reach more people.
Stay with me until the end, because this is not something you just listen to once and forget. This is something you can practice with.
Listen carefully. Repeat out loud.
Follow the rhythm of my voice. Try to speak with me, not after me. This is your training, not just something you listen to. Learning to speak English fluently is not about collecting words like souvenirs and hoping one day they magically arrange themselves into meaningful sentences. That approach is slow, frustrating, and for most people, completely ineffective. Real spoken language does not happen word by word. It happens in chunks, in patterns, in ready-made pieces that your brain can access instantly without hesitation. If you want to speak English naturally, confidently, and without that exhausting pause before every sentence, you need to train your brain differently. You need to stop treating language like a list and start treating it like a living system. The method you are about to hear is simple in idea but powerful in execution.
It is based on learning phrases instead of isolated words, then gradually expanding those phrases into full sentences and eventually into natural, flowing speech. At the beginning, you do not focus on individual vocabulary items. You focus on complete, meaningful expressions. Instead of learning the word go and then the word store and then trying to build something from scratch, you learn the full phrase, I am going to the store. Your brain stores it as a single unit, not as separate pieces. This matters more than you think. When native speakers talk, they are not constructing every sentence from zero. They are pulling from thousands of stored patterns. That is why they sound fast, smooth, and effortless. They are not faster thinkers. They are simply using ready-made language. So the first step is to collect these ready-made expressions. Not hundreds in one day, not in a rushed or desperate way, but consistently and carefully. You take a phrase like, I was just thinking. You repeat it, You listen to it. You say it out loud. You let your mouth get used to its rhythm. You let your brain accept it as something familiar. Then you take another one. It does not make sense. Then another. Maybe we should try something different. Each of these is a building block, but not the kind you memorize and forget. The kind you use. And this is where most people fail.
They collect phrases, but they do not transform them. They treat them like fixed sentences instead of flexible tools. But language is not fixed. It is adaptable, alive, responsive. So the next step is variation. You take a single phrase and you begin to change it. Gently at first, then more freely. I am going to the store becomes I am going to the gym. Then I am going to work. Then I am going to meet a friend. Then I am going to call her later. You are not learning new sentences randomly. You are expanding one pattern into many possibilities. This is how fluency starts to grow. Not from memorization, but from controlled flexibility. Your brain begins to recognize the structure. It stops translating. It starts predicting. And something shifts. You are no longer assembling language piece by piece. You are adapting something that already exists in your mind. Then comes the stage that turns this into real communication. Connection. You take 2 or 3 phrases and you link them together. Not in a forced or artificial way, but in a natural flow. I was just thinking, maybe we should go out. It might be fun. At first, you say them separately. Then you begin to merge them. I was just thinking, maybe we should go out. It might be fun. Then again, smoother this time. I was just thinking, maybe we should go out. It might be fun. Now you are not just repeating. You are speaking. This is the moment where language becomes yours. But none of this works if your voice stays silent. Reading is not speaking. Listening is not speaking. Understanding is not speaking. You must use your voice. You must speak out loud, clearly, even if it feels uncomfortable, even if it feels unnatural at first. That discomfort is not a sign of failure. It is a sign that something new is forming. Your mouth needs training just as much as your brain. The muscles of speech, the rhythm of sentences, the flow between sounds, all of it develops through repetition and use. Silent learning creates silent learners. If you want to speak, you must speak. There is another layer that transforms this process from good to powerful. Imitation in real time. You listen to a short piece of natural speech. Not something too long. Not something too complex. Just enough to challenge you without overwhelming you. You play it and you speak at the same time as the speaker. Not after. Not with a pause. At the same time. You follow the rhythm, the speed, the emotion. At first, it will feel messy. You will miss words. You will fall behind. You will feel like you are chasing something just out of reach. Good. That is exactly where progress lives. You repeat it again, and again, and again. Each time, your brain aligns a little more. Your pronunciation sharpens. Your timing improves. Your confidence grows quietly in the background. You are not just learning what to say. You are learning how it feels to say it. And this feeling is what creates fluency. Over time, the phrases you practiced, the variations you built, the connections you formed, and the sounds you imitated begin to merge into one system. You stop searching for words. You start expressing ideas. You stop translating from your native language. You start thinking in English, even if only for short moments at first. Those moments grow. They connect. They become longer, more stable, more natural.
And one day, without any dramatic announcement, you realize something has changed. You are speaking, and it is flowing. Not perfectly, not like a textbook, but naturally, honestly, effectively.
And that is fluency. Not perfection. Not complexity. Just the ability to express yourself without fear, without delay, without that constant internal struggle. But there is a condition. Consistency. This method only works if you use it regularly. Not once a week, not when you feel motivated, but as a daily practice. Even 15 minutes a day is enough if it is focused and real. You take a few phrases, you practice them, you change them. You connect them. You say them out loud. You imitate real speech. You build, slowly but surely. If you skip this, if you return to passive learning, if you rely only on understanding and avoid speaking, progress will slow down or stop completely. Because speaking is not a byproduct of learning. It is the result of practice. And there is one final truth that cannot be ignored. You will make mistakes. You will say things incorrectly. You will forget words. You will hesitate. This is not a problem. This is the process. Fluency is not built by avoiding mistakes. It is built by moving through them without stopping. Every correction, every repetition, every small improvement is part of the system working exactly as it should. So you continue. You trust the method. You stay consistent. And gradually, quietly, almost invisibly, your English begins to change. Not because you learned more words, but because you learned how to use them.